Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is a gorgeous fall morning here. This morning I am out in the yard and I'm going to be collecting, actually I've already started, collecting seeds from a pretty powerful weed that grows all over the place. It has a lot of great uses. It is a medicinal plant. It is an edible plant, and I decided today that I was going to harvest some seeds, and I may also harvest some other parts of the plant and dehydrate them. You can make teas out of them. I guess I should tell you what the plant is called. I have had a long time dislike of this plant, mostly because of the seeds, which we'll be harvesting today. Most of you will probably be able to recognize the seeds once I show them to you. If you've ever walked through your yard and had these little sticker things sticking all in your clothes, then you've met this plant before. Here's the seeds. So this plant is known as Biden's Alba, also shepherd's needle, and a few other things. And all parts of this plant are useful, edible, and medicinal. And as you can see, maybe you can, we have a large crop. It grows like crazy around here. Up until this point, the only thing I knew it was good for was for chickens and goats. They seem to really like to eat it. So I had talked to Ricky a few times about getting a couple goats to come in and keep the stuff under control, because he's the one that has to mow it down. I was like, hey, I got an idea how you could fix that. They would definitely take care of it. However, I've recently learned, and I've known some things about it, but I've recently learned of all the different benefits of this plant. So I thought, since it's here, such a beautiful day, and it's my day off, we were going to harvest some, and I thought I would bring you guys along with me. The seeds are very easy to harvest. Like I said, all you have to do is walk by them and they stick to everything. I've just got this little jar here, and see if I could do this one-handed. Just gonna, okay. So we're just going to, you don't even really have to do anything. They just kind of fall off. So I'm going to fill this jar. You can buy these seeds online. I don't really need them here because they're everywhere, but once we move, I may put some in pots. I know that my mom really likes this stuff. She loves to feed it to her chickens. And so I'll probably give her some, and since they eat it, it doesn't spread as easily as it does here on this property, because we don't have anything to keep it down. There are actually quite a few useful plants on this property. Here's another one that we're going to be collecting today. So this is goldenrod, known in the florist world as solidago. It's just about to bloom here. Here's some that's a little further along, still not completely bloomed, but it's got several heads on this one little stalk. I just noticed the other day that they have milkweed growing out here, and I'm guessing this is a seed pod here. So I'm going to wait for them things to dry out. This is really good for pollinators, especially the butterflies in our area. This area back here, this property, I know you can't tell any kind of depth here, but in this back corner, Ricky said that the property goes all the way back to where that open space is, and this used to be, they had grapevines out here. I don't know if it was the wild or the cultivated variety, but there is I don't think there's any uses for wisteria. I was just kind of telling you guys about it. All the different vines that are growing through here. There's pokeweed, that pink stem there. I know some parts of that plant are very toxic. Some parts at certain times can be used. They have wild muscadine grapes growing throughout here, which I just tried for myself for the first time a couple months ago, and they were actually really good. I always heard that they were bitter, they weren't good for anything, and now I'm learning that they're really good for making jellies. I guess they just have seeds, whereas the ones in the stores usually don't, so a lot of people just don't prefer them, but when they're growing wild on your property, why wouldn't you use them? They also have elderberry growing all over the place. I see it sprouting up all the time. Unfortunately, the berries are already gone for the year, and I didn't have a dehydrator when they were fruiting, so I didn't get to save any of those. But elderberry is very good medicinal and can be very expensive in stores. There's also lots of wild blackberry canes out here. We did harvest a few blackberries. They have some really big ones that grow out here and then some smaller ones. Another great thing about the Biden's Alba is how much the pollinators love it. The bees are always all over it. The butterflies, the moths, even praying mantis and stick bugs. I find them all the time. In fact, I had leaned over one of the bushes the other day and didn't notice that a praying mantis had hopped onto my shirt when I leaned over. That's what I'm talking about. Just from being around them. They're all over me now. Well, all over me. There's 3 or 4. Can't find the leaves for this, so can't positively identify this shoot as what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Similax. I know they have some on the property. This looks an awful lot like it, but it does have a lot of lookalikes. But on the Similax, these shoots at the end, these tender shoots, are edible, related to asparagus and said to have the flavor of asparagus. Hey there, look at you. Wow, you're the biggest one I've seen yet. Hi. Tell everybody hello. What's your name? Goodness, you are gorgeous. Wow. Very pretty. Look at the size of this butterfly. Oh, you are massive. Wow. The last thing I'm going to be harvesting today is not something that grows wild on this property. It's actually something I brought with me when I came here. If you guys remember my Voodoo Lily, beautiful plant, and my mom bought for me a couple years ago. It's dying, or dead, dying, pretty much dead, and I need to harvest the, well, I'll show you. Alright, so here's the leaves. They're all yellow. The stalks have turned brown instead of the beautiful green that it was before, and this is what I'm going to be harvesting. Each one of these starts a new plant, and there's lots of them. I've got to get off of here before they go to waste, and they just come right off. You stick them under the soil. Actually, I'm probably going to let them dry over the winter, and then in the spring or at the end of winter I'll pot them up and they'll pop back up again next year. Alright, so I only got few. I thought there were more, and possibly there were, because I thought there were more stems than that. So they may have died back before I realized it, and if that's the case, why can't I think of what these are called? Keep wanting to say berries. They're obviously not berries. Anyway, they may have fallen off into the ground around here, and they'll come back next year. And then 3 of these larger ones are not quite ready to come off yet. If they don't, you know, come off pretty easily when you touch them, they're not quite ready. See, like, there's another big one in there, and another one there as well. This one came right off. So when the plant dies, it gets really squishy, almost like it got overwatered. And these are not quite there yet. So we'll leave those on for another, I don't know, a couple days, a week. Over here along this fence line, my banana tree is still kicking. No fruit, but that's okay. And my bean plant. Really didn't expect to do anything. Has beans, and I don't remember what variety, so if any of you guys have experience with green beans, it could be Blue Lake. They look to be a bush type, but it's just loaded right now with little bitty beans. I think it's the most beans I've ever had on a bean plant before. And since I don't remember the variety, I don't really know when I'm supposed to eat them. I don't know if this one's gone too far. But I'm happy to have some beans. My okra is just, I just don't think it's going to do anything. This looks like it may be fruiting there. But usually okra is just really fast growing here. Well, in the next city over, where I have experience growing it. These aren't really doing much, and it is officially fall now, so I don't know that they will, but at least I got something out of my garden attempt. I really didn't think I was going to get anything. Over here, my cucumbers got covered with debris when Ricky was mowing, but I thought I had some cucumbers coming in, but it looks like they didn't get pollinated. This one is open right now, so hopefully the little bumblebee will come over here and pollinate that one. I don't know that we'll have time to really get anything off them, but I just love to see things growing. And over here, we had some melons that looked like they were going to be starting. I don't even know what kind of melons they are. But I don't know that they'll have time to do anything. My peppers just don't look great. Here are some more okra. There's something here eating my leaves. I did find a big furry caterpillar over here the other day and took them to somewhere else in the garden. These look like they're getting some fruits on them too, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to go harvest some goldenrod heads off of these plants and start drying them. I could hang them to dry. It'll probably take a while. I'm going to look up and see if I can put them in the dehydrator. That would be a lot quicker. The ants were harvesting something from here. Oh, oh wow. Oh. Some kind of bug. I would also today like to get some cuttings of the mulberry trees around here and the elderberry, so I could get them in little pots over winter, and in the spring they should start putting off new growth. This is something I did at my other house a couple years ago with pretty good success. Guys, it's super early in the morning. Getting ready to upload this video and I realized that I didn't end it, so here's the end. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.